Nick, did you know that the only magazine Bill Gates reads from cover to cover is The Economist?
Really? What a great story.
Which is probably why The Economist reminds us of the fact every time they send out a press release.
Well, that story is just another way that The Economist is using to build its brand.
And every organization must develop stories to build their brand.
Many do. Look at Oracle, Sarawak Tourism, Singapore Airlines, and many other companies. At the heart of their brand is a story that many people can relate to.
But unfortunately, many don't. They try to market their products based on the jargon, the technical information such as TCP and IP.
Who can relate to that?
Oh, I know, it's not smart for branding. I mean, stories provide an effective way to connect with, to stand above the competition and connect with the media, customers, existing clients, and even prospects.
Plus, it humanizes the organization and provides a way for people to relate to it.
Exactly. And it places brands in a timeless concept that we all relate to. The underdog versus the world, the success against all the odds, the cunning versus convention. I mean, they're all great brands, have one thing in common. There's a lot of great stories about how they succeeded.
Well, let me tell you a story about a great brand. When I worked for the pioneering motor manufacturer called Hayes, we didn't talk about who our investors were or the great IPO we were planning. We talked instead about how the founder, Dennis Hayes, started the company by hand assembling modems on his kitchen table. And we told that story about the kitchen table everywhere we went for the next several years. And it's one reason why the company grew from only 12 people to more than 1,000 in less than 2 years.
Wow. So what can Malaysian companies do to create a branding story?
Think the stories about your firm's histories. How did the founders get started? How did they get together? How have your company helped customers in out of the ordinary ways? Are there innovative ways that your research and development staff have overcome particular challenges? Make the stories as personal as possible.
So don't just focus on the IPO or the service, actually illustrate it with a story.
Absolutely. It's about not about personalities, it's about stories that everyone can relate to and that they can tell to others.
Well, I've got a good story. How would this work? I remember we had a client that installed networks, and that client was helping a customer with a rush job. So the customer was turning up at the office every day at 6 o'clock. So what our client did was that he made sure he was in the office before the client arrived with a fresh Tay Tarek on his desk.
That is absolutely great, and that's the beginning of a great brand.
So its brand is not about personalities, it's about developing a story.
Yes, and that's what companies should first do, is to look at finding the story that can serve as the heart of their brand. And
so another branding myth bites the dust.